He got a citizenship. You should have seen him.
He got
He's
it?
running red lights and stuff. He's like,
I'm a citizen. It's okay. The other guys are over there. Home Depot. I'm okay now. It's okay.
Where the other guy?
The other guys are Home Depot.
Big Boy's
Big
neighborhood.
Boy.
Alrighty now, Jesus Sepulveda in the neighborhood.
yes, sir. Yo, thank you guys for
Extremely
having
funny,
me.
bro. Yeah, man. Let me tell you. First off, welcome to the neighborhood.
welcome.
You know, pretty much again.
Right.
But this is our first real like sit down. He's done many of my comedy shows, man.
That's right.
We're trying to put together this other YouTube series that we got to bring back life to. You know, but your comedy special. Before we get into that, man, you've always been, Jesus, extremely funny to me.
Oh, thanks, man.
You one of them people that as soon as I see you, I start laughing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Had you always thought about comedy?
Yeah, since I was a kid, I've
Really?
always been, the class clown. I was the kid that was always roaming the hallways, looking at the windows, like, hey, come out. I was that guy. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I was always in trouble.
So now that we see it, there's some teachers that are like, oh, I knew he was going to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure. She was like, I knew it. I'm glad he did that because he was going straight to jail. I'm glad comedy worked out.
Hey, man, but there's a difference between being funny at home or your family saying do something funny or the homies kicking it, being funny in school to getting on the stage.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
The timing got to be right. You think it's funny with the homies, and then you bring it to a white crowd, and they're like, oh, I don't think that's hilarious.
But there is homeboy. There's homeboy funny.
It is.
And there's
Definitely.
hood funny. Like, man, get on up. Man, you funny
for
as
real.
hell.
Yeah, I still have friends that I go back home and they're like, man, I'm funnier than you. I should do it. And I'm like, all right, then do it.
Yeah.
So,
hey, man, so when does it go from class clown, hallways, homie funny, hood funny, to where you say, I'm going to try this?
well, when you find out you're not graduating high school and you're like, you know what, I need something. This needs to happen now.
You're like, yeah, and this ain't funny.
Yeah, this ain't funny. Yeah, exactly. So I just said, you know what, I'm just going to give it my all. 15 years old, I went all in. at 15.
What does your family say at 15 when their son doesn't
My
graduate?
dad was disappointed because, he was an immigrant parent, so he's just like, hey, you have a social, a birth certificate, get a job. You made it. You have it. This is here. You make it. I'm trying to make it. Dad is like, you already made it. You're in America.
You got the head start.
Exactly. He's like, you got a social, get a job, hijo. You want to go for a dream that might not pay you. ¿Por qué? I didn't jump the border for this. So I had to fight that.
So for a little bit, you were a disgrace.
Pretty much. Yeah. Until the special came out, he's just like, okay, you're doing nice things. Okay. I'm like, about time.
How many years
Yeah.
before you got a social, you're a disgrace to the special coming out, though?
Oh, it's been like, what, 15 years? It's gotta be, it's been a while. It's been a minute.
Yeah. So at 15, where do you go? You just sign up for comedy nights?
I tell people this, but you got to think back. When I was 15, Google just came out. People were like, Google's been out. No, when it just, because it was Hulu, but not Hulu, Yahoo. And then Google came out.
But there was no real punching in like comedy.
Yeah. So then I type in like how to be a comedian and say go to your local comedy club. Boom, that was it. I show up, did open mics, and you never look back. I said that's it. I'm going for it. Yeah.
But at 15, it's like, okay, at 15 you can still kind of like, I'm living at the house. I'm doing it. And then when you get 18, there's that look of responsibility a little bit.
Yeah.
20, 21, and comedy money isn't great money
at
early
all.
on.
At all. No.
So
I didn't know about that. I was like, wait, so I'm just going to be broke? Is that what we're doing? Okay.
Yeah, there ain't nothing funny about being this broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of tuition into the school of experience that you got to pay early on.
Yeah, for sure.
Were you still working?
Yeah, I've always had a day job until like 2015. That's when I stopped. Yeah, I stopped. I was making good money, but I had to stop because I wanted to take it more seriously.
What kind of jobs were you doing before
I was doing
comedy kicked in?
everything.
Yeah,
everything.
nice.
I worked at the mall. I was the phone guy. Yo, hey, my man, let me talk to you.
Yeah.
How's your minute? Your minute's good? How's your minute? Hey, let me talk to you a minute. Yo. I did the shoes. Like, oh, I can buff that out real quick. I
Shoe guy.
I was that guy. Yeah.
Put your foot up here real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even the girl. Yo, delegate. Let me talk to you, delegate. Let me get that for you. Yeah. Dude, I was that guy, dude.
Yeah.
I had to, I had to use my...
And then plus you had to do certain jobs that you could do to still kind of be available for nights and weekends and things of that nature.
Yeah, but then, I started getting jobs at nights and it was hard and I was falling aslup in the car and then going to the comedy club. It was a struggle. It was a grind, but, you just couldn't...
What made you keep going?
Well, it's to... I'm doing this, to be honest with you, I did it for my family, people back home. Like, you know what? I'm doing this for like a kid like me who grew up here. My parents were immigrant parents. They're just like, they don't believe I'm having nice things or things are gonna work out for them. I'm like, nah, you brought me here, and I'm going for something that was the impossible. But
while you're in,
that's what I'm going for.
It's like you swimming in thickness at the time. When you look in the rearview mirror, it's like it's worked out or it's working out.
Yeah.
But at the moment when you just looking from side to side, or you know what I'm saying?
No, there's been times when I'm like, nah, I'm packing up. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm going. That's enough. When you bomb at the haha, you're like, okay, that's it. I'm going back. On a Monday, I'm like, that's it.
Like I can't make you laugh for free.
Yeah. When the meth head in the front is making fun of me, I'm like, okay, that's it.
Hey, man, but they say that every good comedian has to bomb.
We all bomb, man.
Right.
We have to bomb. I say embrace the bombs. You got to embrace it. Figure out how to live in that awkwardness, and you're going to grow. It's just going to get better from there.
Because when we're on the corner, when we're with the homies, you don't really bomb.
You're not bombing. Yeah. You're not bombing. You're just making fun. You're trying to survive. You make fun of everybody. And if they're not laughing at that, you go after somebody's face. You go somebody, that cheated on him. Well, my girl didn't cheat on me. You got to go in. You got to go in,
And so when do you start stacking up minutes when you start to figure out, man, I got to work on a routine here? Because even is the first 5-10 minutes hard?
Yeah, the first 5 minutes is the first 5 minutes is hard. You're trying to develop your voice. That's the thing. You're trying to find out your voice. You don't know who your voice is. You're trying to mimic other comics. So you're trying to figure out what your point of view is. And then after a while, you start picking it up, and then you start opening up for people. You start getting 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then you finally get the strong 30.
Really,
you're working hard. Now you're working.
How long did it take you to get to your strong 30?
To be honest with you, it took me like 10 years to get to a strong 30.
Bro.
To feel comfortable too. I'm talking about like strong. I ain't talking about like a lot of comics nowadays. They're like, oh, they fart on TikTok like I'm a comic. I'm talking about strong. We see them on stage and we're like, that's why. You can't fart on stage. You got to do a little bit more than that.
TikTok.
You got to do more than a dance on stage. You know what I mean? They're figuring it out the hard way. But,
man, does it feel like the comedy lane is getting crowded because we do have social media?
For sure it's getting crowded. I'm telling you, a lot of people, they do some funny videos and they think they can go on stage, but they figure it out,
Hell yeah.
They figure
that
out
rude awakening.
Yeah, exactly. So they got to follow a real comic. And they're like, oh, God, can I just go after it? Nah, come on, man. You want it. You posted about it. You got 1 million followers. Let's go, million.
There ain't 1 million in here right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, make me laugh.
Exactly.
Believe that. Now, with your actual comedy special that's on, what platform are we on now?
The HBO Max.
Hey, man, how
HBO
crazy
Max,
is that?
Man, I'm telling you, if I look back at the 7-year-old Jesus that wanted to do this, if I tell him, I think I wouldn't believe in myself.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I'm excited.
And had that dangling carrot been in front of you for so long where you thought like, oh, it's about to happen.
Man,
it's about to happen.
When I did my first 5 minutes and I was in the Laugh Factory and I killed and I was like, oh, that's it. I made it. I did phone calls. I'm like, Mom, just quit work.
Yeah.
Dad, I'm going to pay the house. I'm going to pay everything I owe you. Yeah. You get excited. This whole, industry is like tricky.
It takes a while though, huh?
It takes a minute.
How long had you been talking with HBO Max?
That was a crazy story itself because I got the call to do it when the pandemic hit.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, so how's that going to go down? How's that going to be? They're like, well, we might just do it without a crowd. And I'm like, well, I don't know. But, you can't say, all right, I don't want to do it. I'm just kind of like, oh, yeah, all right, we'll figure it out. And I'm stressing out. And a year went, and they said, let's keep pushing it, maybe. And then we kept pushing it. And then finally, when things started opening, we went to, we filmed it in New York. So
why New York?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, right.
I wanted to figure that out myself. I'm like, well, do LA. They're like, we want to expand. We want to say that the comedy's for everybody, like everywhere.
Gotcha.
So I was like, all right, cool, let's go to New York. The thing is, we went to New York. I took my parents to New York.
Oh, Lord.
I never been to New York. I took my mom and dad.
That was your first time in New York to shoot your special?
Bro, first time in New York, and I heard that the people, the audience is very hard in New York. They want the quick, savvy, like quickness, stand up. So I went up there when we got there, because we filmed it on Thursday. I got there on Sunday, and we're hitting up comedy clubs.
Gotcha.
And man, but the way they do it is like, there was a lot of pressure for me. I'm used to these like small clubs. I'm hitting up all these clubs, but like I'm not used to that pressure. I mean, when you put me on, I'm on. Yeah. But like, I wasn't used to that pressure. It was a lot. My mom and dad and my girl, everybody was with me. When we got off the plane, they got the cameras. All right, we're gonna film. Yeah. Dude, they got cameras on me, and I'm like in my face. I'm like, hey, what up? Hey, chill. I didn't even brush my teeth. Like, can you back up? Can you back up, please? Can I help you? Like, so they're with me at the comedy clubs, and then they're like, all right, and then New York comics. They're like, AOB, hey, what's the camera for? Like, oh, you gonna go? What you gonna film? HBO special. Oh, what? All right. So when they brought up my name, everybody in the green room, all the comics went out to see me. I'm feeling that pressure.
Oh.
I'm feeling my mom and dad in the front. They got cameras. People, the audience are like, this is exciting. What's happening? I'm talking about like open mics. We're getting open, but they're filming the whole experience. Yeah. And I'm bombing. It was dog. I'm being real. I bombed. I was just like, I was sweating. I'm like, how many Latinos in here? No Latinos. It was like, white people were just eating their steak. And I'm just over there like, yeah. I'm doing my little dance. I'm sweating, dog.
I did a 23andMe. I'm 10% Latino. I found out.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And people, the comics in the back, like, oh, man, you see, that's like Hollywood on that funny thing, man. They don't give the real one. So I'm like battling that. And I had to like, even my dad was questioning, Mijo, are you sure? Porque no, hombre. They're investing money into this. Mijo, don't embarrass me. You brought me here to embarrass me. No.
You see that last name, huh?
My dad's looking at flights to go back home. He's like, I gotta go.
I can't watch this.
Yo, he's telling my mom, he's like, you coming with me because we're leaving. I'm not gonna. No. I'm not gonna fake laugh. No.
You're like, we can get out on Wednesday, Thursday at the latest.
Mira, Southwest, they'll come all this way. They got a good deal right now. It's a quick getaway to get the hell out.
Oh my God!
But it finally worked out. I snapped out of it after the third night. I'm like, come on, man, I do this, man.
Right,
come on, man. LA prepared me for this. This is a tough audience, so I build.
Hey, man, but that's really throwing you into the water.
It was, man.
There's a lot of season, and I'm vetting. This is what I do.
Right.
But it was so many things that were so-called out of the element.
Exactly. You know, that's the thing about entertainment. Like everybody talks all this, posts all this, but it's like when the mic and the lights are on.
When it's time.
Like, do you have it? Because you by yourself up there. Comic is by itself.
Hey, man, I love how you said the other comics was like, man, this is what they do.
That's why Hollywood's the way it is, man. They'll put the real ones up. And I'm like, oh, no. I just had a little moment, but I snapped out and I bounced back and I was like, oh, man, and I got him. And then after that, the special came and,
Hey, man, how
crazy.
There's a lot of material about your dad.
Oh, man.
How does your dad feel about...
Yo, my dad is trying to get his cut. All I do is talk about it. Yeah. He's trying to figure it out. He's like, how much they pay? He's Googling how much comics get paid. He's like, Dave Chappelle got 10 million. How much do I have? I'm like, that's Dave Chappelle. He's like, I don't even know him. He got 10 million. I know you. You got more. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's trying to get his cut.
Hey, man,
now.
would you please tell them about the pressures your dad put on you with soccer?
Oh, man, soccer. Well, it's because in the Latino community, you know what I mean? Our parents aren't it's okay. All right, Chad. Next try.
Right.
Next try. Well, you're out there doing exercise, okay? You're vitamin D out here. No. Our parents are like, hey, you better make 10 goals.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm the goalie. How am I going to... How am I going to make 10 goals?
I'm on defense.
Like, figure that out.
Yeah. He'll tell you every game, my dad's like, I didn't jump the border for you to make 1 goal.
Right.
Be the best.
He said he could have watched that on television.
I could have watched that on TV, okay? 10 goals. Chivas are playing. I could watch that on TV.
What the title of the special is?
Mr. Tough Life. And that's my dad, because every time I complain,
tell him
I had a tough life. I had a tough life. He's a citizen, and I'm an immigrant. He had a tough life. I know. He's the complainer.
Right.
We have food stamps like he had a tough life. Okay. Mr. Tough Life.
Hey, man, with Mr. Tough Life, and I want people to actually check it out. But I'm just going to ask you about one person, and just let me know if it's really real.
What's going on?
Cumbias.
Oh, man, that's my uncle right there.
That's my uncle in Mexico.
Does he
really exist?
He was born with a crooked hip, and we call him Cumbias because of the dance. And every time he's walking, it looks like he's dancing. It's cold. It's the coldest thing. When I first heard that, I was like, oh, that was cold. That was real. I was young and I was like, that's cold.
Hey,
that's
man.
Cold.
Hey, bro, and you gotta see the way that he do it and everything.
Yeah, a little dance.
And I've had a chance to bear witness to it live. You've always liked that.
Oh my God, bro. Remember, Big got out his seat and I was like, I thought I was getting robbed. I'm like, what's going on?
You thought you was about to get Will Smith earlier.
I thought that was Will. What's going on? I just saw something big just walking up. I got trauma from my past. You know what I mean? I feel like I owe everybody money. I'm like, goddamn.
Hey, man, speaking of trauma, are you really in therapy?
Yeah, for sure. I'm in therapy.
How long have you been doing? He said I have to be.
I have to be in therapy. Yeah, I figured a lot of things out in therapy. About myself, the way I am. the way I grew up and stuff with my parents.
It's crazy when you peel them layers off, huh?
But then, it's funny because I got these conversations with them, and then I go back home and I try to explain to my dad how it affected me, and my dad's affected me. Cálmate. And he'll just, Latino parents, they just tell you, you ungrateful. Did you starve in my house? Like, yeah, but you didn't really pay attention. Did you starve in my house? No, okay, you have nothing to tell me, okay? Did you go to school naked? Okay, then shut the heck up, okay? I jumped the border for you, so watch your mouth, okay? I don't have time for attention. I have to pay bills, okay? I don't have time. I bought you a TV for attention. Watch TV.
I'm attending to these bills.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, I guess you're right.
Yeah. Take that back to your therapist.
Yo, exactly. I can't even argue with my dad. So they know how to, defend themselves quick.
Hey, man, and it's crazy, man, because my wife speaks Spanish. My kids speak Spanish. My daughter is fluent. But I find myself, when it comes to Spanish thing, I'm like, baby, tell her this, ask this and I'm using my daughter.
Okay.
You say your dad used you for English.
For English.
Yeah.
That's right.
So growing up, you were the translator.
We were the translators,
Of course.
But then they'll say like foul things. Like we'll be at freaking McDonald's, you're trying to get a deal. No, he says 2 for 3. Dile. And he'll tell me in Spanish to cuss him out. And I'm like, I'm not gonna tell him that. Yo dije, dile que yo dije. I'm not gonna. The white people get, a little flustered. They're like, what's going on? Do I have to call security? I'm like, no, he just wants the deal. He's upset.
Yeah. He's mad because he missed breakfast by 5 minutes.
Exactly. It's like, so this coupon's just for one person. He wants it for the whole family. You can't do that. You cannot do that for 20 people. You cannot do that. Yeah. It's only for one person. Like that. Hey, tell them, you guys are citizens. For everything, it's like we're citizens. Like that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean nothing.
Like this come with being American born.
Oh yeah, dude. When he got a citizenship, you should have seen him.
He got it?
He's running red lights and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm a citizen. It's okay. The other guys are over there. Home Depot. I'm okay now. It's okay.
Where the other guy?
Yeah, the other guys are Home Depot. You pulled over the wrong one. Okay, I don't break the law. I'm a citizen. Jose's over there. He's my neighbor. He's the guy. He just got here.
Oh man,
I'll take you too.
Hey man,
I'm legal.
The time when you got mad at your dad, you know what I'm saying, and you was like, man, I know how to get back at him.
Yeah,
in the translation game.
I had to, because kids,
I don't know if we even tell this one, man.
I'm not gonna say the word. Y'all figure it out.
Man,
but my dad would come up to me and say, say things in English.
Well, do this for me, man. I'm gonna catch it in the bleeps. Okay. I just want you to say it. How you would say it on stage or just in the conversation with us.
Because the thing about Latino parents is that they want to ask you how to say things in English. We get that a lot, right? But they yell at you, hey, shut the door. And then, can you help me? It's like, I don't know. Like, you need some time to cool off before we're friends. Like, Latinos, they don't believe in that. They're friends regardless. I'm your parent. I'm your friend forever.
Right.
Like, shut the door, pendejo. Idiot. Shut the... And then, please, help me, please. One day he's like, one day he told me, how do you say? He wanted me to say fight in English. I was so mad. I looked at him. I was like, oh, it's fuck. I said that word, the F word. I said it, right? And he looked at me. He repeated it. Are you sure? I'm like, I'm sure, right? And he goes to the soccer game and he's over there yelling, okay, I want everybody to fuck me right now. That's him. That's a real life. That's a real life true story. When I first heard it, you first hear it like, oh no, and I'm the cause of it.
This is your soccer game, right?
Yeah. So I'm watching it and I'm like, oh no. I'm trying to tell the coach, I'm sorry, my dad doesn't speak English. He's not even supposed to be in this country. I turn around. I don't know why Latino parents, they like to take off their shirts. He's like, hey, everybody, fuck me right now, everybody, one by one, all together, everybody together right now. I'm just like, oh, damn. They're trying to figure my dad out. It's like, why does that man have breasts? What's going on? What does he identify himself as? It was crazy. It was a crazy time.
Oh, man, bro. Hey, Jesus, thank you for coming into the neighborhood, bro.
Yeah, thank you, man. I want to give a special thanks to all the comics that opened the doors for me over there at, Entre Nos and people like Edwin and stuff. So a lot of comics, they got the 30s for me to get my 30s. So,
yes, sir.
Shout out to my friend Jerry Garcia.
Man, extremely funny too, bro.
Big homie. All the other comics and stuff. Dope. So, yeah, and you, man, you have always been there for me, man, since day one.
I'm a fan, bro.
Man, one thing I love about Big is that, like, even, like, you don't even call me for like hey, let's do this. You call me like, how you doing?
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You don't get that in this industry, but you definitely do that.
Hey, man, and let me tell you, anytime that I see that you're on one of our shows, I'm like, oh, my God.
Oh, no. The biggest supporter for sure.
I sit in the audience.
Yeah,
and
that's
make
right.
sure I watch you, bro.
I make sure you get up on that seat. The biggest is a guy that gets up on the seat. That's how you know you're killing. He gets up, he starts walking.
Dude,
I'm like, is he doing yoga? What's going on over there? Is he exercising? Big. Exactly. I'm like, Big, you already lost the weight. What are you doing over there? Exercising. What are you doing? Time
Man,
what's going on?
HBO Max, Mr. Tough Life, Jesus Sepulveda in the neighborhood, bro.
Thank you so much.
And I'm telling you, man, treat yourself to this comedy special.
Please.
30 minutes. And what I love about it, it's a hard, strong 30 minutes.
I'm glad you noticed that. Thank you.
Bro,
I was on purpose. I want every minute.
Man,
no time to waste.
There was no fillers, bro.
That's
no
right.
fillers. And even shooting it in New York, the crowd laughter, they got it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Cool. And I can see why they would say, oh, shoot it over there and show people that you can take it outside and take it anywhere.
That's right.
Man, I appreciate you. My good friend Jesus Sepulveda in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, HBO Max, Mr. Tough Life. Thank you for being in the neighborhood, Big Boy's neighborhood.